Welcome back, Saber fans. Tony here from Sabers, and with another install review for you. If you're new to the channel, I do install, repair, and review these sabers, so please like, comment, and subscribe. I also have a website, Lightsabers.com, where you can find my finished products and sound fonts. So if you're interested in that, definitely check out the link in the description below. So here we have a very big video, very special saber. These are Thrawn Hunters from KrSabers, installed with Master Chassis from Goth 3D Designs. Now, these sabers took a while, I'm not gonna lie. So originally the saber run was supposed to come out around February of this year, and around February, if you guys don't know, around February is when things get slammed, you know, for most people. I know I did when with commissions, with other stuff, I just got slammed around February. And so everybody's getting their tax returns back, you know, and everyone's like, I'm gonna buy, you know, saber stuff. I don't know. And so, basically, these were supposed to arrive February, and they didn't. They ended up getting pushed back until later March, you know, April, around that area. And so I was already busy with February commissions and everything that kind of bled over into the next few months. And so these sabers were a saber that I wanted to get done very, very quickly and get out there because the customer had been waiting that long for the sabers to even arrive to me. And so it was just a longer process than I thought. Then, on top of that, trying to get all these other sabers done, I was like, okay, I've never done a motor before on Proffie. For those that don't know, these master chassis have, of course, the brass, you know, pieces that look gold and stuff like that. It also has the accent LEDs and the crystal reveal. With the crystal reveal, you have the motor that spins. Now, when Proffie turns on, it'll spin, and then when you turn off the saber, it'll stop spinning. I had never done that before, and so I was very intimidated by this, and I kind of freaked out about it, and I read it up on Crucible, which is where you can find all of Proffie stuff if you have questions. Frederick and all of them help you. And there's a guy asking about it, and you know, I read up on it, and they're like, oh, you need a correct resistor, you could damage the board, or this and that, and what type of specs you have. And I was really, it kind of made me very nervous and started overthinking the process. So I reached out to Handy Dandy Sabers Forever, and he was like, oh no, you just solder this and this, then you should be good. And I was like, oh, it was okay, cool. And so it enthused me to get these done a lot quicker than initially planned. And so here they are. These are, I'll open them up for you. I have a second pair of these that will be getting done momentarily. After this pair, I'll be getting another pair. These pairs specifically go to Canada. And so this guy has been waiting for a while. He was very excited. I sent him the first picture of when I got the big one done, and he got so very excited. And this customer here asked for the install on both. Of course, he when he bought the saber, it provided the parts and whatnot, and then of course I had to install it. And so I have to undo this screw as well. So you have to do undo a few screws to get inside the electronics. Technically, the only thing you really need to hold down the pommel and stuff is this screw here, so you don't necessarily need to use these screws if you really wanted quick access. It has a 2.1 recharge port here, but they are static on both sabers. I'm a big fan of the removable battery system design, and so here I'm taking out that. And so I thought that I didn't want an external recharge port because you're going to be opening up anyways to, you know, see the stuff. Now, I'm not quite sure how sturdy these sabers are entirely. I've never had a saber that had a motor in it, but for what I've done with these sabers after installing them, they seem pretty sturdy. One thing you'll notice too is that the motor makes noise, which is common with any motor, and so when you're playing around with the saber enclosed or even open, you'll notice that the saber does kind of make noise, which is fine. And so yeah, so here you have, let me see if I can't show you guys. Here you have the full, you know, brass pieces and all that jazz. Now with this saber, I've seen a lot of other installers do it, Sabers Forever and Solo Sabers, and they put accent LEDs in here and whatnot, and then the crystal, of course, and so I wanted to replicate that, so I put an LED strip or Neopixel strip in here, and it'll go back and forth like kit sensor, which I thought was really cool. And of course, you can open this window up here, and you have the crystal reveal itself and the little gold piece that'll spin. And so I'll show that off here. The customer here, again, 10 fonts, mainly Ahsoka, which is good, very nice.
Where is your master?
So you have the crystal that'll slowly pulse in and out, and then you have the strip of Neopixels doing a heartbeat sensor. Now when you turn on the saber, you'll hear the motor spin. You can open this up. Oh, there you go. And you can see the motor spin, and you'll have the kit sensor on that, and then the flickering or matched blade style for the crystal reveal. And when you do gesture features, it'll turn off, the motor will turn off, and everything will go back to normal. And so, a little mechanical noise. One thing I did like too is that you have these little levers things. You can open up, of course, the crystal reveal and reveal the crystal itself. But you can also have these little brackets that you can remove for the battery, and then there's also one for the board. And so you do have access to the board and the SD card. This is running Proffie 6.7, all the cool little features and whatnot. One other thing I liked with these in particular were that these little blade caps can be taken off, and you can just screw in these. This isn't considered a thin neck, but it has about the same blade depth as a thin neck would have, theoretically. And so, not terribly, adequate. I thought I was going to have more blade depth there, but that's, again, completely understandable due to the amount of space that's used in this. I was actually quite pleased. There's a lot of space in these hilts. I thought it was going to be a constraint for space or whatnot when installing it, and it honestly wasn't. It was a lot of space, and so I'm sure the Echo chassis for these sabers is just as free as well. And so, these will have the same fonts on there, both of them. The smaller one was less tricky. Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
Not what I wanted to do. Cool. And so, so here we have the smaller one, which has also the crystal chamber and all that jazz. This one's smaller. For me, personally, I like the smaller one. It fits both my hands. It fits much like a normal saber for me. This one's way too big in my perspective. But I'm a small person, so what can you say? And so, undo this. Oh. This is a bit tricky because you kind of need it to fall out or use the screw. There you go. Undo that. And then you should be able to lift this guy up. Oh, I might need to do this screw as well. So yeah, this smaller one is less complex to take out because it actually clears the space here. And you can just pull it out. And so, same sort of thing. It doesn't have the accent LEDs like the big one does because it doesn't really have space for it, but you do have the crystal chamber. I'll put the battery in as well in here as well. You have a little bracket as well to put the battery in, which I thought was really cool.
Let's see what knowledge is lurking inside that little mind.
So cool. So you have the crystal as well in there. Also the engine or motor that spins. And so yeah. So we'll put these both in here. Again, very good choice of fonts. I would have done the same thing on as far as fonts go. The second one I'll be doing that I'm doing will have also a lot of Ahsoka fonts on there, which is so cool to do. Now these are very, very loud. I'm pretty impressed on how loud they are. Yeah. I'm not sure about, again, the integrity of the sabers. These are probably mainly going to be used for display and or cosplay. I wouldn't say you could go and bash and swing these around. At least I wouldn't. Again, because I wouldn't want to test the integrity of the motor. And so, even though everything's been glued down, everything's been, secured very tightly, I wouldn't risk it. And so, yeah. So without further ado, again, both sabers have the same fonts on them. So I won't probably demo both of them. I'll probably just demo it on the small one. Probably just demo it on the small one because it fits me a lot better, and I'm going to use a smaller blade anyways. And so, yeah, without further ado, let's show you off the fonts. Okay, so the customer asked for a 27-inch blade to be used for the smaller one, and then a 34-inch blade to be used for the longer one. And so that is what it will be installed with, or will come with. For this video, again, I'm demoing on the 1, and this one's going to have a 27-inch blade as well. So first up, we have the Sorcerer by KrSabers. This will be featuring one button mod by FET263's button system using Proffie OS 6.7. And so just a quick tap to turn on. The white blades with the unstable buildup. Smooth swing, of course. Accents. Blasters, just tap. For force effects, you want to just hold and let go.
She's off the scope. Draw her out.
He's hidden his abilities to survive over the years. Surrender or face the consequences. I've only known one other being like this. A wise Jedi Master named Yoda.
Of course, it has gesture features. Very nice. It'll have the tracks from the Mandalorian on there. So yeah. You want to double tap to turn on and off tracks, either while the saber's off, or then you can turn them off while the blade is on. So yeah. Next up, if you want to go to, I guess I should explain all of them, but it'll look better on a different blade than white, I should say, to show off all the features. So next up.
Our long-awaited meeting has come at last.
This is not Commander Tano, Code Fulcrum by KrSabers. This is the Ahsoka font from Rebels by KrSabers. Same white blade. different font, different force effects.
I won't leave you. Not this time. I won't leave you. Not this time.
Revenge is not the Jedi way.
I am no Jedi.
Oh. It has a track player on there as well, so if you just rotate, it'll choose between tracks if the font has multiple tracks on there. Of course, we're going to choose the one from Season 2. Just click to confirm. Next up,
Ahsoka.
this is Commander Tano by KrSabers. This is the Clone Wars Season 7 sound font. Now I can show you off the rest of the features because it's on a white blade. So double tap and hold for lightning block. Right here. For color changing, you want to tap 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you can just rotate your saber to whatever. If you want to confirm the color, you want to hold it down. I believe this hold it down? Yeah, just tap to confirm the color, and then, yeah. If you go back, I believe you just hold it. And so, yeah. This also has force effects.
Tano, is it? I can't say yours is a name familiar to me.
The Jedi was sighted entering the lower city.
Then it's just as our Lord Jedi would have come himself. Perhaps bring his royal foe, Skywalker, is it?
This also has a few tracks on there, on the track player and the main track or that I coded to it. This has Race to the Surface as the main track. And then also, it has a track player. So I put some fonts on there from the Season 7. Burying the Dead. So yeah. Next up.
I'm sorry, Master. But I'm not coming back.
This is KrSabers Heroes Pack. This is the Ahsoka sound font. This is, again, I kind of styled it to be Ahsoka leaving the temple. Now, this one in particular is going to have a different blade than this one. This one kind of has that limeish green to it, but not quite dark green like this one will be. And so it'll be a subtle thing that you have to be able to kind of put the blades together to kind of see, but it does look probably green on screen right now. And so this will have also force effects.
The Council didn't trust me. So how can I trust myself? How nice of you. There's always a bit of truth in legends.
Of course, this will have the Clone Wars track on there. Next up.
Second sister.
This is, so then we end the kind of story of telling Ahsoka's stuff, and then now we get into the cool kind of sound font. So this is the second by KrSabers / K-Sith. This is an Inquisitor sound font from Jedi Fallen Order. Of course, it has the lens flare on there, and of course the Jedi, our second sister blade style from Fett 263. Very nice font. For lockup, just hold and clash. Oh. For multi-blast, you want to hold and swing. You'll get the multi-blast begin, and you just swing your saber to get blasters. If you want to get out of it, tap once more, and you're back to normal. This has a JFO 19 track on there, which is Anakin's Dark Deeds, but the Jedi Fallen Order, I guess spoilers, but yeah. Next up.
The dark saber. It belongs to you.
This is Dark V3 by KrSabers. Which has a dark saber blade style on there. Blasters. Force effects from Season 2.
Without that blade, she's a pretender.
Speaking of Darksaber, these hilts, the Darksaber and the Ahsoka hilts, are so very sleek and samurai-like. I absolutely love them.
In order for her to wield the dark saber again, she would need to defeat you in combat.
I yield. It's yours.
Oh, no. It doesn't work that way.
This has the Mando track on there. So yeah, next up.
I suggest you try it again, Luke. This time, let go your conscious self and act on instinct.
This is a New Hope training by KrSabers.
But sir, nobody worries about upsetting a droid.
It's because a droid don't pull people's arms out of their sockets when they lose. Wookiees are known to do that.
This has the ambient track on there. Yeah. Next up.
A Jedi's weapon.
This is Return V2 by KrSabers. Of course, it has the Jabba scene as the track. This is a Return of the Jedi Luke font. So we have the Bard scene, of course. And then, extra features. Force effects.
I'm sure that we can work out an arrangement which will be mutually beneficial and enable us to avoid any unpleasant confrontation. The last mistake you'll ever make. As a token of my goodwill, I present to you a gift. These two droids.
Next up.
It's just bad these days.
This is the Rematch Bundle. I was going to say rebundle. The Rematch Bundle by KrSabers. This is the ObiWan Kenobi sound font for Kenobi. Unstable build up.
Please tell your father I tried. She would have wanted you to have it.
It'll buy you the time you need. You must get these people out of here. You are all the future. You are the future.
This also has a track player. I have tons of Kenobi fonts on there, or tracks, I should say. You just click one to confirm. So yeah. Next up.
Great mother.
Now, he opted out to not have the party blade, and so you have the passive battery monitor, and of course, this is not the party blade. This is the Mother Townsend, or Great Mother by KrSabers. This is Mother Townsend sound font. Very, very nice blade style, very unique to have on this saber. It is a smoke blade, symbolizing Mother Townsend's magic. Very crazy. So yeah. And the magic goes back after it's done. And so, yeah. So that includes the install for the Thrawn Hunters. Very, very cool. Very complex. I'm very proud. This is probably the most complex install I've done to date. And so, of course, I hope the customer enjoys it. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful day, and may the Force be with you.